Okay, so let's have now the first lesson for Module 1, which is about the cross product. So what is this cross product all about? So cross product is another method of computing resultant vectors. So kung natatandaan ninyo dun sa previous module natin ng first quarter, diniscuss natin kung ano ibig sabihin ng resultant vector. So pag sinabi natin resultant vector, that is the summation of all the vector quantities na inad natin or kinumbine natin. Okay? So dun sa method na diniscuss natin ng first quarter, we use different methods in computing the resultant vector. If you could still recall, we have the parallelogram method, we have the graphical method, we have the Pythagorean theorem method, we have the component method. So, kumbaga, STEM, ibang paraan ito ng pagkukompute ng resultant vector. So, ano yung pinagkaiba ng cross product doon sa mga nauna nating method ng pagko-compute ng resultant vector. Si cross product, pwede siya kapag yung given vector quantities ay may component. So, ibig sabihin, pwede ito hindi lang siya pang 2-dimensional, pwede din siya na pang 3-dimensional. Okay? So, the cross product of two vectors is another vector that is at right angle to both vector quantity, to both given vector quantities. So, in short, pwede natin siya i-represent ng ganito. We have vector quantity A cross vector quantity B. So, hindi ito binabasa ng times. Itong multiplication sign dito, hindi yan binabasa ng times. So, kaya nga ito cross product. So, ang basa dito ay cross. Or pwede din namang A cross B. Okay? So, yun lang yung niyan, yun lang yung idea nung kung paano mo i-represent yung resultant vector mo kapag cross product method ang ginamit mo. Okay? So, sa diagram natin, pag ginawa natin yan ng vector diagram, ito yung kalalabasan. Okay? So, halimbawa, example, we have here vector A, okay, going in this direction. Okay, then we have vector B going in this direction. And then ito, yung ating vector quantity C. Ito yung ating resultant vector. Itong makapal na tinta na to. Okay? Now, as you can see, sabi dito, two vectors that is right angle to both. So, pag nilagyan natin yan ng indicator, kung nasan yung right angle between quantity A and resultant vector C, at saka vector quantity B, at saka resultant vector C. So, dun muna tayo sa right angle between vector quantity A and resultant vector C. So, eto si A, eto si B, eto si C rather. So, therefore, itong red na ink na to na nakikita ninyo, ayan. Ayan. So, eto yung 90 degree between A and C. Okay? Between vector quantity A and resultant vector C. Kung si B naman ang titignan natin, eto si B, di ba? Eto si C. Therefore, itong color blue na ink, ayan, eto, yan naman yung 90 degree between B and C. Okay? Kaya ito pwede pang 3-dimensional. Okay? Then, pwede din naman ganito. Halimbawa, eto si vector quantity A, dito naman natin ilalagay si vector quantity B. Okay? Then, dito natin ilalagay si resultant vector B. Pwede yan, ha? Pwede yan. So, pag tinignan natin, asan yung 90 degree between A and C at saka B and C? Kay A and C, di ba, eto si A, eto si C, therefore, eto yung 90 degree sa pagitan nila. Then, pag tignan natin si B and C, eto si B, eto si C, therefore, itong mga anak, ito, yan, yan yung 90 degree sa pagitan nila. Okay? Kaya kung makikita natin, hindi siya necessarily na ipinaplat using the orientation in our Cartesian plane. Kasi 'di ba kung titingnan ninyo, ayan, dito nasa XCA, kung ang titingnan natin ay orientation sa Cartesian plane, nasa positive XCA, then nasa positive YCC, then in between nila si quantity B, 'di ba? Si vector quantity B. Kung dito naman titingnan natin, nasa positive XCA, nasa positive YCB, then nasa third quadrant naman si C. Kaya ito, hindi nyo to ipaplat, hindi nyo to titignan ng point of view ng Cartesian plane. Okay? Ang mahalaga dyan, masunod ninyo yung characteristic ng cross product method, na dapat yung resultant vector na makukuha ninyo magpo-form ng right angle between the given vector quantities. Okay? So, dahil ito ay quantity, we can do it mathematically. We can compute it mathematically. Okay? So, our formula in using the cross product will be resultant vector C. Okay? So, resultant vector C is equal to absolute value of vector quantity A multiplied with absolute value of vector quantity B multiplied with sine theta. Or ano yung theta angle natin dito? Yung theta angle natin, that is the angle between the two given vector quantities. So let's say ang given natin is A and B, so therefore yung angle na na-form between A and B, yun ang magiging value ng theta natin. Okay? So let's have an example. Remember we're going to consider the absolute value for quantity A, vector quantity A, and absolute value for vector quantity B. Okay? So, let's have an example. Let's say, vector A has a magnitude of 2 and vector B has a magnitude of 3. What is the cross product if they are 90 degrees and 270 degree apart? Okay? So, ang given natin dito, we have the value of vector quantity A, which is 2. Then, we have the value of vector quantity B, which is 3. Then, we have to look for the resultant vector C, considering na meron tayong dalawang angle na titignan. So, what will be the resultant vector if A and B is 90 degrees apart, or if A and B is 270 degree apart. Okay? So, dun muna tayo sa letter A. Dun muna tayo sa 90 degree. So, using this equation, ayan, yung binigay na equation sa atin. Okay? So, we will substitute the given value. So, vector quantity A is 2, absolute value. Then, vector quantity B, 3, absolute value. Then, sine of 90 degrees. Yung angle na binigay between A and B in the first condition. So, dahil absolute value, so, tatanggalin natin yung absolute sign. So, magiging absolute value of positive 2 is 2. Then, absolute value of positive 3 is 3. Diba? So, 2 times 3 multiplied with sine of 90 degrees. So, sine of 90 degree is 1. Okay? Pag kinumpute nyo yan sa calculator, ganyan. Sine of 90 is 1. Okay? So, kung 1 ito, ayan, 2 times 3 is 6. Diba? So, 6 times 1 will give you 6. So, therefore, pwedeng ganito yung representation ng sagot ninyo. Pwedeng C, tas yung may arrow sa taas. Diba? Sabi ko sa inyo, yung arrow mag-i-indicate ng direction since we're talking of vector quantity. May magnitude at saka may direction. Okay? Or, pwede din naman ganito. Kasi para ma-sure na cross product talaga yung ginamit ninyong method. So, therefore, pwede nyo represent yung final answer nyo as vector quantity A cross vector quantity B is equal to 6. Or, A cross B is equal to 6. Okay? Now, This is the resultant vector if quantity A and quantity B is 90 degree apart. What if they are 270 degrees apart? Ano na yung magiging vector quantity natin? Okay? So, solve natin. So, we have resultant vector C is equal to absolute value of quantity, vector quantity A multiplied with absolute value of vector quantity B multiplied with sine theta. Okay, so let's have the value. Absolute value of A is 2 according to the given values a while ago. Ayan ha, ito pa rin yun ha. Ito pa rin, okay? Then absolute value of vector quantity B which is 3. Then sine, this time yung 270 degrees angle na, 'di ba? So, pag tinignan natin, what is sine of 270? Sine of 270 is equal to negative 1, 'di ba? So, therefore, absolute value of 2 is positive 2 is 2, absolute value of positive 3 is 3, multiplied with sine of 270 which is negative 1. So, therefore, the resultant vector for given vector quantities A and B, if they are 270 degree apart, will be negative 6. Okay? Or, pwedeng ganito to, vector quantity A cross vector quantity B is equal to negative 6. That will be your final answer. Okay? Now, ito walang problema kung dalawa lang yung vector quantities na ibibigay. Kasi all you have to do is to use this equation. Diba? Sa substitute nyo lang. Then compute na using calculator. What if 3 yung component ng ating binigay na vector quantities? Halimbawa, dito sa naunang example, ang component lang ni A ay 2. Ang component lang ni B ay 3. What if meron hindi lang isa yung component ni A? What if hindi lang isa yung component ni B? So, anong gagawin natin? Gamit tayo ng matrix. Ayan, okay? So, for 3 or more vector components, use matrix for easy solution. Okay? So, if I'm not mistaken, ginamit yung idea ng matrix sa pagkuha ng area ng triangle at saka pagkuha ng area ng quadrilateral sa inyong pre-calculus. Okay? So, maraming gamit ang matrix, but commonly ginagamit ito kapag ang quantity natin ay pwedeng mag-form ng 3-dimensional or more. Okay? So, ito yung magiging pattern natin. Depende yan depende sa size ng dimension ng matrix ninyo. Pwedeng 3x2, ibig sabihin 3 yung inyong dyan, 3 yung component, and then meron kang dalawang component na vertical. Kaya 2x3. 3 yung nasa horizontal, 2 yung nasa vertical. Okay? So, ganito yung gagamitin natin. Ngayon, halimbawa, yung component ninyo is hindi lang tatlo. Halimbawa, hindi lang dalawa. Halimbawa, meron kang A, meron kang B, meron kang C. Dadagdagan nyo lang dito yan ng C. Diba? Halimbawa, dito, meron ng A, meron pang B, meron pang C. So, okay lang yon. Dagdagan nyo lang dito sa baba. CX, CY, at saka CZ. Okay? Ngayon, itong symbol na to, yan, ang tawag natin dyan is hat. Sombrero, kumbaga. Okay? Symbol lang yan. Symbol lang yan na yung quantity na pinag-uusapan natin ay vector quantity. Ibig sabihin, merong direction. Yun lang ang ibig sabihin yan, ha? Okay, kasi nga we have to be specific if we are dealing with vector quantity or scalar quantity. Kasi pag scalar na, hindi na tayo gagamit ng cross product. Ang gagamitin na natin, dot product. Okay? Kaya dapat may symbol talaga to indicate na yun ay vector quantity. Okay? So, example. Example, ang components ni vector quantity A are 2, 3, and 4. Then, ang components naman ni vector quantity B is 5, 6, and 7. So, what will be the resultant vector for X, for Y, and Z? Remember, ang symbol ng resultant vector natin is C na may arrow sa taas, di ba? So, ito, makikita ninyo, hindi lang isang resultant vector yung makukuha natin. Lumalabas dahil tatlo yung component ng ating mga given vector quantities, so therefore, tatlo din yung makukuha natin na resultant vectors. Okay? Then, let's try na i-graph. Okay? So, let's do it. Using this pattern of matrix, yung size ng ating matrix. Okay? So, ganito siya ha. So, let's have resultant vector for X. Okay? So, for X. So, ito ha. So, lumalabas class, kung gagamitin natin tong pattern na to, si 2 ay AX, si 3 ay AY, si 4 ay AZ. Then, dito naman, si 5 ay BY, si 5 ay VX, si 6 ay BY, si 7 ay BZ. Okay? So, pag nalagay natin yan dito, ganyan lang siya. So, we have AX, which is 2, AY, which is 3, AZ, which is 4. Then, sa baba naman, BX, which is 5, BY, which is 6, and BZ, which is 7. Okay? Tapos, di ba ito ay X, ito ay Y, ito ay Z. Kung X ang hinahanap nyo, di ba X yan, X ang hinahanap natin, takpan nyo si X. Ang matitira, ito na lang. Di ba? Kaya, equal to, so tatanggal si X, matatanggal. So, ang matitira, we have 3, 4, 6, 7. Okay? Then, ang operation natin for matrix is down minus up. Okay? Tandaan nyo yan na down minus up. Okay? Kaya ito yung down. Ayan. Then, ito yung up. Okay? Kaya cross product pa rin siya actually. Okay? So, lalabas, we have now the absolute value of 3 times 7, yun yung down natin, minus yung up natin, 6 times 4. Okay? Absolute value. Therefore, okay, so we have 3 times 7 is 21 minus 6 times 4 is 24. Diba? 6 minus 4 is 24. Okay? So, therefore, our C of X component will be absolute value of 21 minus 24, which is equal to negative 3. Negative 3. Okay? So, C of X now will be equal to positive 3 kasi absolute value. Sorry, absolute value. Ayan. Okay?